Your business.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anofi and I'm Igwe. I'm an entrepreneur, a facilitator to I teach. Mostly I teach young people how to raise money for their businesses. I'm an entrepreneur too. I have a young company and we are trying to light up Africa. Reason, one of the mails we read from you and from your friend, Dr. Master Yu, he tells us about re-imaging Africa. What do we do to the villagers? If we focus on the cities, they are alienated. How do we focus on them? The mind is to see how do we come together and light up the villages. Anyone that does not have light up to 4 hours a day, 12 hours a day, is still in the village. You might be in VGC. You might be anywhere. You're still in the village. And my company can light them up. We partner with people that could do it, but we bring them forward and they project we, the young Africans. Now, if we have or approach a bank, UBA for example, they are going to ask for feasibility studies. And most of these young people, until they go through your mentorship, they can write a passable, approvable, credit-worthy feasibility studies. If this program, your mentorship program, could do it and make it broad, that would be good. Now, as a country, Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, how do we get through a feasibility studies and make our business not just bankable, but supportable? It's two-faced. How can a bank help us? And how can a state help us? Thank you. Once again, Anofianam Igwe Dinma.
What's your name?
Igwe. Anofianam Igwe Dinma.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. President, if you want to lead, then I'll fill out.
Well, I think that perhaps some of the things I said at the beginning is an answer to the question that you posed. What can the state do? What can be done to help? In Ghana, the way we have gone about it, as I said, is establishing this National Entrepreneurship Innovation Program. The purpose of which is, on the one side, to offer certain kinds of services to start up businesses, and on the other, to facilitate the access of businesses to credit. So you've got the National Entrepreneurship Program that has as its focus providing business advisory services, providing access to affordable credit, and also leading the way to finding access to markets for the various entrepreneurs and their products. We have also established a micro enterprise fund that helps in startups. It's also got links to the banks to be able to provide affordable credit. So those are, obviously, there are fiscal incentives too that the government is offering for new businesses, especially those that are located in the rural areas and outside the town, so that you can get specific fiscal packages, exemption from duty for the import of machinery and plant, exemption from corporate income tax for a certain period, 5 years, 10 years, depending on where you are allocated. This is the bundle of things that is being done to encourage young businesses and businesses as your company.
Very. That's good. Igwe, right? You want to know what the banks are also doing? I'll speak for United Bank for Africa, where I'm involved as the chairman of EBA. No, the CEO is here, but a couple of things. First, as a person, the Tony Elumelu Foundation is helping to do what we're doing today. In addition, soon, we're going to be launching the Entrepreneurship TF Connect. That TF Connect, you will see the possibilities of how you can help bring yourselves, policymakers, markets, and also funding partners together. But specifically, UBA has a vibrant small and medium enterprises desk. UBA is actually known as UBA Entrepreneurs, UBA, the Bank for Entrepreneurs in Africa. And recently, through the partnership with the French Development Agency, UBA is providing support for young African entrepreneurs. And French Development Agency has guaranteed 70% of the risk. So actually the risk UBA is carrying is just 30%. Some of these initiatives are being put in place to support people like you and other budding African entrepreneurs. And finally, UBA Foundation also supports entrepreneurs. Thank you. So here, who has a microphone here? Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, and Mr. Tony Elumelu. My name is Daniel Bamigbayan, and I run DPI Innovations. We drive inclusive ICT education, and as well, we write software to enable businesses. We've established a fact today, which you have always talked about, and it's the fact that Africapitalism holds a very important role in ensuring that Africa has a real inclusive growth and development. But it's important, in fact, I'm excited to see the Ghanaian president here because I once stumbled on one of his videos where he was speaking with the French president, and I saw him on the need for Africa to begin to lead growth even in the world. And I really appreciate that depth of ownership you've owned about capitalism. But it's important. There are a number of us in here, and we've heard the concept of Africapitalism and how we can help Africa develop. But sir, what strategy will you adopt to ensure that other leaders all around Africa can hone this concept and begin to drive youth entrepreneurship and job creation in Africa? Thank you very much, sir.
Well, I think change comes from mobilization, from agitation, from people insisting that this is the way they want things to be done. Nothing is changed or developed on its own. It never happens that way. People have to get up, speak, form groups, movements, discussions, and change the dialogue in their respective country. That is what has to be done. That has to be done here in Nigeria, has to be done in my own country of Ghana, has to be done across the world. Those who want the change have to go out and strive for it. I'm not talking about taking up guns. I'm talking about changing the discourse in our countries so the leaders then begin to focus on what the majority of our population want. And the majority of our population is young. So therefore, the fixation of leaders, the focus of leaders, the concentration of leaders have to be on the things that we need to do to get young people going. I'll give you one small example of something that took place in Ghana, which originally when I saw it was very disturbing. But at the same time, I see it as an opportunity. A survey was conducted by the Ministry of Business Development, together with the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Educational Service, at schools, selected secondary schools in Ghana. And the question that was posed was, how many of you, when you leave here, want to be business owners? The figure came out as 2% of those who were polled gave the answer that they wanted to be business owners. Contrast that with a figure of 70% in America. When the same survey was conducted in American schools, 7 out of 10 young Americans said they want to be business owners. So that is the nature of the challenge for all of us. the changing of the mindset, the changing of